Those photos were from Kent State, May 4th, 1970. And Kent State is one of my alma maters. I graduated from there in 1986, and I currently live in Portland. So I have a personal interest in both. Where do I start? With tears, with fear? No. Well, yes. Maybe I'll end with that. I'm going to talk over this footage you're going to see is from this morning. It's really dirty and they're just starting to pick up. That's like 6 a.m. I was just getting on with my day and went down there for a couple free cups of coffee, and it wasn't bad coffee. But aside from that, please listen to the Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young song. Link below in the description box. In fact, I found a really good one. I went back to the memorial twice in the past 8 years. 5 years ago with my cousin who lives in Akron, which is just next to Kent State, Kent, Ohio. And then 3 years ago, and checked out the memorial and museum. It's really great. But here, please go listen to the link below to the song Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and then come back. Thank you. So after listening to the song Ohio, thanks for coming back, and I want to briefly point out to you one of the easiest ways to understand Kent State. Now, 13 were shot at Kent State, 4 were killed. So when you look at a map, basically you can hold out your hand like this, okay? See my little pink thumb? Basically the 12 people over here in one area, because there's a lot of conspiracies about Kent State. The National Guard claimed that they were being hit by rocks, and somebody fired the first shot. There's 32 seconds, I believe, of real footage. Confessions after death from National Guardmen talking about it. But, it's basically the 12 over here, and then there was one over here, and I can't help thinking about that. He was a young, probably 19-year-old himself, National Guard. One of the William Bill Schroeder. He was on his way to ROTC class. He was one of the 4 that got shot and killed. I asked the people around here about Kent State and what happened on May 4th, 1970, and their eyes glaze over because they're too young. They don't remember it. It's 50 years ago, almost to the very month. And back then, in the 70s, it was the summer of love, 69. But there were a lot of protests against the Vietnam War. Kent State, some argue, ended the Vietnam War. And so there was rowdiness and violence and looting and broken windows downtown for like a week. And everybody looked like Jimmy Page. I couldn't find any specific photos like that. I have some cool ones, but they sent in the National Guard because they lit at Kent State. They lit the art building on fire. And there's conspiracies about Nixon. If you guys remember, Nixon was president, that he had planned it, and he thought it was going to be in his favor. There's a lot of documentary films about Kent State. It's very historic. It's like this is historic too. My fear is that young people aren't going to get out and vote. By young, I mean people under 25 years of age. My second fear is that the feds will keep stepping this up as they're doing last night. There's been 3 nights of tear gas, and last night they got out a Gatling gun type of, and last night they had a Gatling gun shooting beanbag pellets at people. Those really hurt very much. They keep stepping up their game. I talked to a few people that claim that, say that they were tear gassed first. Were bombed first by these bombs, like shock bombs that go off down here, 2-3, the feds, and we threw them back. And my dad was talking about lasers and some stuff. I don't watch TV much, have it in at least a day, 2. But I have appointments in business. I'm not going to get into my personal stuff, but this is what it looks like down here. I wish I could just overdub it because they're playing Michael Jackson. But my fear is that someone is going to get killed. You know, I will say,
used to be a big statue here.
Close to me who lives in Arizona was saying that we started it, we had lasers and blinded them or something. And I said, look, we look like campers compared to you. They look like military soldiers, the feds, from Afghanistan. And we're bothering them with lasers. We have the best lasers too, you know. The best little pen lasers that your professor used to use. They hand them out.